Today we're going to find out what would happen if your bolt action rifle went off with the bolt open. 223. 308. No lugs left on it at all. Oh my gosh! 50 BMG bolt action rifle. 27,000 pounds of bolt thrust with no lugs. Whoa! That was bad. What's up, everybody? My name is Scott and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics, and today we're going to perform some science with some bolt action rifles. Over the years, I have heard some stories about bolt action rifle failures that really make my neck itch. Specifically, bolt action rifles going off with the bolt open. Basically, if that were to happen, it turns your bolt into a projectile itself, goes the opposite direction at the user, and as you can imagine, the results would be pretty devastating. Today, we're gonna see if we can recreate some of these failures with several different rifles and see what our results are. I am very excited about today's video, so let's go get set up and get started. So you may be asking yourself, how in the world does a bolt action rifle go off with the bolt up? Aren't there safeties and features that prevent that from happening? Well, you would be correct, but the stories that I have heard involve the firing pin. Basically, the firing pin is stuck out of the bolt for some reason, and then when they load their next round in, the firing pin strikes the primer of the round and it goes off before they can close the bolt, and then the bolt flies back at them. Now, I bet your next question is, how in the world are you going to recreate that, Scott, without getting a new 15-inch neck scar? Well, today I have three different bolt action rifles. I have a 223, a 308, and a 50 BMG. All three rifles have very special bolts. They have bolts that do not have lugs. So what's that mean? That means when this bolt is inside this rifle enclosed, there is nothing keeping it in there. Pretty much when this thing goes off, it's just gonna slide right out of there. Now, this isn't exactly the same as if your firing pin was stuck out and you close the bolt, but it's gonna be close enough, and I am very excited to see what our results are. So here's how this is gonna work today. We have a Ballistic Dummy Labs zombie torso. We have a vise, a string that goes this way and then curves at a 90-degree angle for me to hide behind a truck. I will put this up against the zombie and lock it into the vise. I'm gonna have the rifle placed more in the middle of the zombie because if you were loading your gun, most likely it's not gonna be on your shoulder. You're gonna be right here, doing everything kinda at chest and chin level. So once we get that locked in and we get our round in there, we are going to go hide and pull a string. Don't think things are gonna go very well for him today, but for us, it's gonna be pretty awesome. But before we get started, I wanna tell you about Hold Up Display's ammo storage giveaway. They're giving away a $174 ammo storage bundle when you spend $500 or more and use promo code FREEAMMO. You got 2 extra large ammo shelves and 2 mag holders. This offer ends December 11th, so you don't want to miss out. I have been using Hold Up Displays for years now. They are literally the strongest slat wall to exist. Everything is made in Wisconsin, and this is about the only thing that's practical for someone like me who has a growing collection. When I get more guns and my collection grows, all I have to do is swap out my racks for higher density racks, or move stuff around, or just buy more slat wall. It is truly a modular system that I love. And you do not want to miss out on this giveaway. Be sure and check it out before you miss out. A big thank you to Hold Up Displays for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's go get sketchy. Okay, I have on my handy dandy safety gear, helmet, face shield, gloves, neck shield, the whole 9 yards, so we can get started. The 223 is going to be producing over 6,000 pounds of bolt thrust with no lugs. We're definitely going to have a good idea of what's going to happen with the other rifles once we do this, because 308 and 50 BMG are a lot bigger than 223. First up, we're going to put on our safety. We're going to load our mag with 1 round. And we have to be really careful today because not only is the bullet coming out this way, but the bolt is potentially coming out this way. So gonna be extra careful. I'm gonna go ahead and load our round in. Get directly to the side. Okay, she is hot. I'm gonna make sure my string is on the trigger good. Now safety is coming off. Let's go hide, shall we? Okay, here we go. 2, 2, 3. See if we can get this thing to go off. Oh, let's go check that out. Well, that did not work out exactly how I planned it. I was a little bit afraid of that with the 223 because the bolt on this one was a little tougher than the others. And as you can see, there's still a little bit of meat on those lugs. And what's amazing is even with just that little bit left on this bolt and 6,000 pounds of bolt thrust, it still stayed in the gun. That's pretty impressive, not gonna lie. And this is a Savage, I believe. So, I don't know, I feel pretty comfortable with Savages now, that's for sure. But I'm not very happy because I wanted to see a bolt hit Mr. Zombie. I guess we just need to move on to 308. So now we have a Ruger American 308 bolt action rifle. We had a little bit of trouble with the 223, but I don't think we're gonna have the same issues with this one. This has absolutely no lugs left on it at all. So when this is in here and it's locked down, as you can see, I can still pull this thing out. So I don't think we're gonna have as much trouble with this one. I do expect this bolt to actually make it out of the gun this time. And we're working with more bolt thrusts. The 5.56 or 223 was producing 6,000 pounds of bolt thrust, while the 308 is producing 11,000 pounds of bolt thrust. I'm a little more sketched out loading this one, not gonna lie. So we have a round of 308. This is a 178 grain round. Get that in there. We're gonna put our safety on. Oh well, it won't let me put the safety on unless it's loaded. I don't like that, so I don't guess I have a choice. I'm just gonna have to load it and hope for the best. Okay. Oh dear. Okay, oh, there it goes. Get in there. Oh my gosh. This isn't sketchy at all. Dude. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's go hide. Okie dokie. 308, here we go. Round 2. All right. Let's try again. All right, let's have a look. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'd say that was a successful test. There's the bolt right here on the table. I tell you what, before I go any further, I'm gonna look at the slow-mo footage real quick.
A few moments later.
So it appears that the bolt did indeed exit the gun. Our mag also detonated, and then this right here hit the zombie right in the face. As you can see here, there's still some plastic in his face, but did quite a bit of damage. I mean, this right here, that would not feel good. You would definitely need to go to the dentist and probably the ER. And I would say that that has potential to seriously injure you, especially if it were to hit you in the neck or something like that. 308 bolt action failure, not good. I'm pretty pleased with those results. I believe we were able to recreate what I was shooting for. I am curious to what would happen to your hand if you were holding onto that bolt when that happened. But all in all, I'm pretty happy. Him, not so much. And he's definitely not going to be happy after this next gun. In case you missed it, I have written a book. It is called Boom Pow, I'm Braver Now, and it's about bouncing back when life goes boom. Not only am I very excited about this project, I'm even more excited about the cause behind it, because a portion of every purchase goes to the Parker Project that helps out families whose kids are fighting cancer. And it's not too late. If you purchase my book before December 10th, you can get your name or someone special's name printed in the book. And I went to the comment section in the last video, and I want to give a shout out to these fine folks right here for picking up a book. Not going to try to read these off though, because you guys got some weird usernames. Crisco Disco. Be sure and check out my book, and don't forget, if you do it before December 10th, you can get your name or someone else's name printed in the book. Also, might give you a shout out if you let me know you picked up one in the comment section down below. BraverNowBook.com, link in the description down below. Let's get to it. So last but not least, we have a 50 BMG bolt action rifle. This thing right here makes my neck itch because it does not have any lugs on the bolt anymore. So when this thing goes off, it 100% should launch that bolt backwards. Now the only problem is we do have a stock, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think it's still going to be pretty catastrophic. All right, we have this thing locked in the vise. I have moved our zombie up so we have maximum potential for entertainment, and I have a 750 grain 50 BMG Hornady AMAX. And this 50 BMG should be producing over 27,000 pounds of bolt thrust with no lugs. Ooh, okay. So, I'm gonna load this very carefully. Gonna get that in there. Okay, safety is on. And now I'm actually gonna unscrew this bolt handle so that we have maximum potential. Now I'm gonna take the safety off. Oh dear. Okay. Let's go hide. Whoa! All right. I'm excited about this one. Here we go. So that was pretty sketch. We had a light primer strike. We're going to try again, but I'm going to try a different round. This primer seems to be raised a little higher than the other one. So this is a 750 grain brass round. Don't think it's going to make much of a difference. It's still going to be pretty spectacular if we can get it to go off. So let's try again. Okay. Load our round in there. It's in there. I'm going to turn our safety. Here we go again. Whoa! Yeah! Oh, yeah! That was bad. Oh, yeah! Okie dokie. Well, he's on the ground, but I think he may be okay. The bolt is actually still inside this thing. Okay. Well, I would say that if your hand was on that bolt, 100% your hand's going to be broken. I mean, as you can see, this thing is completely bent sideways. And then if you look right here, I mean, it is crammed in there and bent and dented inside there. And that took a lot of force to do that. I don't know how the heck I'm even going to get that out of there. This is definitely a wall hanger now. And I would say if that bolt wasn't encapsulated inside this, that 100% probably would have went through the zombie's chest. All in all, I would say that was a pretty successful test. I really wish, though, that this would have completely came out the back of the gun. So maybe we need to redo this test one day, but we use a bolt action 50 BMG where the bolt is actually kind of setting on top of the stock or a little more exposed. And I bet it'd fly right out of there like a torpedo. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something. What are some other gun science experiments that you would like to see on this channel? As for this gun, I think I'm gonna have a hard time getting that bolt out of there, but I would probably have a better go at it if I would have gotten my start in firearms technology at SCI. If you wanna check them out, there's a link in the description down below. Otherwise, I guess I'll just use this thing for breaking tables. Actually, this is pretty good. I kind of like this. Hey, give this video a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Be sure and check me out on all other social media platforms. If you want to pick up a shirt, there's a link in the description down below to KentuckyBallistics.com. And as always, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for watching Kentucky Ballistics. And I'll see you next time. Oh, that stock actually makes a pretty good handle. Yeah, I like that. It's still got a good use, yeah.